What is going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this video, we're talking our DFS sleepers for the 2020 Shriners Open. We also have a DFS pick show, which you can see on our YouTube video, and a DFS fade show. So make sure to check those out. We will also be going live on Twitch on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, for a full breakdown of the DFS field. So make sure to come and ask any questions you want then.
Yeah, and that's so like, you know, we only get into a couple of sleepers here, but that's where we really get into the deep ones and get into what we think of the whole.
We pick apart the field there. Yeah. All right, so going into my sleepers, my first one. So we're talking 7,500 and down on DraftKings. Again, I kind of say this every video. Don't kind of plug all these guys in your lineup. Pick and choose who you think is the best fit for your lineup for points or kind of the fill-in with your lineups. But my first is Chez Reavie on DraftKings. He's 7,300, FanDuel 9,000. He's just one of the best approach players in the field. I feel like he's mispriced a little bit. I mean, we've seen him contend in some pretty big tournaments over the years. He's a winner on the PGA Tour. It's not exactly a stacked field, but him at 7,300 just kind of seems like an insult for Chez. He's completely green across the DFS model you can see on our website there. So he has good value. He has good course form. I think it's going to be pretty easy scoring. We talked about in our pick show that the wind's going to be down for Thursday, Friday, but the wind's going to pick up Saturday, Sunday. I think if Chez can get to the weekend, he kind of thrives more in tougher conditions. You kind of think of him as like a U.S. Open guy. I don't know if he can go out and score 23 under and win. That's not, I think, his style. But if he can get through the weekend, I think he can climb the leaderboard for sure.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I was looking at potentially having him as one of my sleepers, but then saw you were already bringing him up. So.
All right, snagged him. So just below Chez, I have Kristoffer Ventura, 7,200 on DraftKings, 8,800 on FanDuel. I'm just going right back to the well with this one. I mean, if you follow our channel, I've been talking about him for weeks and weeks. He's paid off for me weeks and weeks. 2 top 10s in his last 3 tournaments. He's actually 9th in strokes gained total for the field. So he's playing super well. He putts well. He's just doing everything well right now. He's only played here twice, so he missed a cut the first time, but his Friday round was super impressive, averaging his last 5 rounds at TPC Summerlin, 67.6. So he's playing really well right now. He obviously scored well at this course last year, even the Friday the year before that. I think I'm just going to keep rolling with him. I don't see any reason to stop.
Yeah, I think one of the other things with a young guy like Ventura is that you can't read too much into the long-term history because he's a different, you know, you look at his 2019, 2020 stats, he's a different player than he was a year ago. So you really need to look at what they've been doing recently and whether you think that's going to continue.
Yeah. And then I'm going way to the bottom of DraftKings and FanDuel pricing for this one.
Doesn't get any lower than that.
Doesn't get any lower. It's DeLaet, 6,000 on DraftKings, bare minimum 7,000 on FanDuel. It's a little bit of a homer pick. He's a good Canadian boy, represented us in the Olympics. We're Canadians up here. He's been on the major medical kind of exemption list for a while. He's battling back from back injury. His first round back was at TPC Summerlin last year. Didn't go well. We're going to give him a freebie on that one. It's his first competitive round. But he's last at the Cross Punta Cana in his last PGA Tour start. He shot 64 there on Friday. He just missed the cut. I think that's the round where you kind of be like, okay, I got some confidence. I can hang with these guys. I can go low.
I remember what this feels like.
I can see these birdies going in. Okay, I remember I can do this again. I think he likes this course. So coming back here might just kind of be the confidence boost kind of coming together for this one. Besides 2019,
his name might not be as well known to other people because in Canada we love to celebrate every Canadian athlete. But when he was, before he got hurt, he was a top 30, top 50 golfer. So the talent's there. It's just a matter of whether he can find that again.
And if you're looking at course history, besides 2019, which was his first tournament back here, his 2 missed cuts were actually right on the number. So he's not missing it by much, but he can go low. Like if he does make the weekend, he can get you some DraftKings points. He can get you some birdies. Bare minimum, it's a dart throw. I'm going to be incredibly overweight, but if you're looking for someone that's 1% or even less.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the other thing is his ownership's going to be so low that if he does hit, you're beaten. You got leverage on the whole field basically.
Yeah, all we're looking for is a made cut. If we get that, we're going to be super happy. But kind of an unknown name there for potentially some new golf fans. Graham DeLaet.
I like it a lot. Yeah. Okay, so, my sleepers are pretty sleepy this week. I don't know, they're all names that you probably will recognize just because they've either been around, they've been playing well this year or they've been around for a while. Yeah. But I think, so what I'm looking at this week is to potentially not go as deep and just get a bunch of cut makers and then try to spike someone who wins and then, get a lot of guys who I think will make the cut. Yeah. And so starting out, Lanto Griffin, I mean, this guy has, if you've been playing a lot of him in DFS, you've been winning a lot of money playing him because he's been making cuts like it's his job. Funny enough, it is his job. So he's 22, 28 cuts made since the start of the 2019-2020 season, which is, that's just a great rate for down at this price. Yeah. Last year at this tournament, he was tied for 18th. So, he does have some good feel for the course. And he's one of these guys who he's positive in all strokes gained categories. And that's just one of those things that I love to see that. He might actually have a tiny little minus around the green last year. But, for the 8 categories, there's minus less than a tenth of a stroke, but it's just something I love when I'm looking at sleepers because it's not like there's a glaring weakness that if it creeps up, that's the weekend or like that's the tournament for them, so they can, if something's not quite right, they can use the other strengths of their game to bail them out a bit.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, Brendan Steele, he's coming in at 7,100 on DraftKings. Another guy who's got a pretty good rate of cuts made over the past year and a bit, at 71 and a bit %. Mm-hmm. He was tied for 29th last year. His strengths are off the tee and approach, which, as we were talking about in our other video, that's really what you're looking for here. And one of the things that I was looking at his course history here, and he's 6 of 8 cuts made at TPC Summerlin. So he's exactly the kind of guy that I'm looking for in terms of making the cut.
I've made just a couple hand-built lineups so far, and Brendan Steele actually made one of them. So I like him quite a bit here as well. Yeah, and you can see, that's on our website here on our DFS model. Look how, when it's that dark green, we're getting a value here.
Yeah, and if you're looking for someone who's going to make the cut, last time he missed a cut was at Charles Schwab back in June.
You can pardon that one a little bit.
Yeah, and now, so if you're looking for someone to make the cut, I'm going to take you next to Kevin Streelman, and why he's coming in at 7,000 on DraftKings, 8,800 on FanDuel. You look at, so he's 14 to 24 for cuts made since start of last year.
Right.
But he's 8 of the last 9. So that's.
And I think he did pretty well at Safeway, right? He was a top 5 at Safeway Open, I want to say.
Yeah, I think he top 10 at the Safeway. So he's in, he does have decent fit. So he missed the cut at the US Open, and the cut before that was RBC Heritage. So another guy who, aside from the US Open, where it's hard to take too much away from that for a tournament like this,
anybody can miss the cut there.
Exactly. Another guy at TPC Summerlin, he's made 9 of 10 cuts. He has 5 of 10 top 25s, and
which I think is almost more impressive because getting to the weekend's one thing, but getting in the top 25, that's getting narrower and narrower. That's half the time top 25. That's really impressive.
Yeah. So for a guy like Streelman, he's one of these guys that you'll see him at the bottom of strong fields, and you'll see him in fields like this. And so you want to see him making things like top 25s. And then also, he had a second place here back in 2015. So you would think he's got a good feel for the course. He's positive and he's quite positive in strokes gained tee to green. So I just think, these guys, all of these guys, to me, they are safer plays down at this price, but they also are guys that can, they can get up into the top 10 and the top 20. So that's what I'm going to be looking for with my sleepers this week. And I'll get a little bit, if you come check out our live stream on Twitch on Wednesday, I'll get a little bit into why that's the approach I'm going for this week. But I like all three.
I like the tease. Summarizing our sleeper picks, I have Chez Reavie 7,300, Kristoffer Ventura 7,200, and DeLaet at 6,000 on DraftKings.
Yeah, and I've got Lanto Griffin at 7,300, Brendan Steele at 7,100, and Kevin Streelman at 7,000.
Just kind of the steady eddies over there for you with those sleepers. I love it.
Yeah.
As Craig mentioned, make sure to check out our Twitch show live on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. We'll go through the whole DFS field, answer any questions you have. We also did 2 more videos, so make sure to check out our DFS pick show, where we also preview the course a little bit, and our DFS fades. Thanks, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you soon.
Good luck, guys. Thanks a lot.